All right, guys. Happy Monday afternoon. Very excited to be bringing you essential skills seminar today. Coming at you from the lovely state of Utah. I'm down in Orem today, actually helping complete an MIT skill out. So I'm excited to take this quick little break to share with you what we call our well-being workshop. You guys know the drill. I've got the recording started for our friends who can't join us on the line today. But I really thought that this would be a great topic just to kind of help round out our year. As we all know, we get into the holidays, which is high stress, high emotion, and of course, the busiest time for us here in restaurants as everyone else in the world gets to go out and spend time and dine with their families. And so it can be very stressful, it can be very high emotion. And just, I wanted to take some time with you early this week to just help set you up for success and managing your own well-being, as well as helping support your fellow managers, your fellow chefs to do the same. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. And we're actually going to start with a great quote here. Give me a firm place to stand and I will move the earth. And, these are some pretty powerful words, and I want you to keep in mind what that really means as we go through this training today. But, you know, thinking about all you really need is that firm foundation, that solid standing, and just thinking to yourself, what does that solid standing look like for you? It might be your family, it might be your friends, it might be your financial well being, it might be your physical well-being, but whatever it is, you just need that firm foundation to really set yourself up for success. And that's where well-being really comes into play. Well-being is that firm foundation for you. It's what really allows you to move the earth. It's the solid ground on which you stand. So, well, we live in a very complicated and an ever-changing world. So I want you to think about it. Many of you have experienced some significant changes within your life. I want you to think back. It might have been the advent of the internet. A lot of us went through 9/11, global warming, climate change, the first African American president, the invention of smartphones, and of course, the coming of the digital age. We legalized marijuana. There was 24/7 access to news and information, several economic crises, more school shootings than we care to count. I mean, social media is running rampant. And these events have helped shape the globe around us and continues to change the way that people think and feel across the globe. So, I gave you guys a list already, but what are some other events that have had a major impact on the way we live today? Can you think of any? And then it begs this next question here. You know, in this day and age, people seem to really struggle to be happy. And Gallup, those poll folks, those scientists, have really been exploring the demands of what a life well lived looks like, especially since the mid 20th century. And then more recently, Gallup has partnered with leading economists, psychologists, and other acclaimed scientists to identify the common elements of well being. And during that research, really five essential elements have emerged, which we'll dig into a little bit more here in a moment. But first, I want to define what well being truly is. Now, contrary to what many people believe, well being isn't just about being happy. It's also not just about being wealthy or successful. And it's certainly not limited to physical health or wellness. It's really about finding that balance in the critical areas of your life. And every person has areas of their life where they are suffering, where they're struggling, and definitely where they're thriving. And I really want to actually throw an idea at you guys here. We have all heard the term work life balance. And I would argue that, work life balance doesn't have, it's not a balance. It really truly isn't, because you don't spend an equal amount of time at work that you do at home. It's not a balance. What it is more than anything is a work life harmony, how those two things play together and how they, play nice essentially. And so, I would argue that this thriving, this well being is not about balance necessarily, but it's about that harmony between all of these elements in your life. You might be wondering, well, what are those elements? So when people were asked what makes the difference between someone thriving, struggling, or even suffering, the five essential elements of well-being were born, and those can be categorized as career well-being, social well-being, financial well-being, physical well-being, and then community well-being. Now, well being is about the combination of our love for what we do each day, the quality of our relationships, the security of our finances, the vibrancy of our physical health, and the pride we take in what we have contributed to our communities. So, most importantly, it goes back to how these five elements interact, harmony between all of these. We're going to dig in a little bit deeper into each of these five, and then also share some tips and best practices to grow and develop toward a best life. And I mean, why? Why would we do this? And why would we even share this on the line together today? Because statistics actually show that while 64 of us may be thriving in one element, only about 7% of us are thriving in all five. So there's plenty for each of us to share with each other. And please, as you guys always know, feel free to unmute at any time, or if you're more comfortable dropping information in the chat, please do so. But let's talk about what well-being looks like in all five of these categories. Let's talk about social well-being first. Now, social well-being is not just about going out every night or the number of friends you have on Facebook or Twitter followers or Instagram. It's about having strong relationships and love in your life. Now, writer Don Clifton, same guy from Clifton Strengths, he sums it up by saying, relationships help us to define who we are and what we can become. Most of us can trace our successes to pivotal relationships. What do you think this quote means? As our relationships grow and develop, so too does our well being. Our lives become richer and we learn, grow, and develop through others. So, why is it so hard to connect with people and build those strong relationships? Now, most of you who know me know that I love a good stat. So I've got some interesting statistics to share with you about the state of friendship in America. But a study from Get Life Vote found that three-quarters of us are not truly satisfied with the relationships in our lives. Some of you on the line may find yourself identifying with that category, but three-quarters of us are really not happy with the friendships that we have. And even a staggering 63% of us are just not confident in those friendships, not even just unhappy, that we truly don't even have the confidence in those friendships that we have. And these stats even extend to marriage as well. I know some of us on the line are marriage, with less and less millennials and especially Gen Z seeking out a partner for life, and many people choosing instead to remain single. And you might be wondering why? Why are people staying single for their lives? And, consider the time that you spend on social media. In your opinion, does social media really strengthen your ability to build those lasting relationships? Social media actually does less for your social well being than picking up the phone and reaching out to a friend or a family member, or even better yet, paying them a visit. And our friends really matter. In fact, the people you choose as friends can have a really major impact on your own personal well being. Did you know people with a friend who has a healthy lifestyle are 5 times as likely to have a healthy diet and lifestyle themselves? And then here's a great tip for you. Try mixing social time with physical. The more you can combine elements of well being, the greater the chance you'll have to enjoy a life where your well being is thriving. So, the next time that you hang out with your friend or you spend time with a loved one, instead of staying at home, try combining physical activity and that time you spend together. Go on a hike together or a walk or a jog or whatever it may be. Go swimming, but try to combine that physical activity with that social well being. Now let's talk about financial well-being. Part 2. It's not about being rich. It's about effectively managing your economic life. So I'm going to start. Let's meet the average American family. The average American family has just barely $5,300 in the bank. Half of American families don't have a retirement account. They don't have any mutual funds, stocks, or bonds. Their house might be worth 416,000, but they owe 236,000 of it to the bank. The average annual salary for most Americans is just under 60,000 a year. And for most of us on the line, I'm sure we can feel that our financials might seem in shambles. Some of you might feel like some of these facts are ringing true for you, and that's okay. I mean, this is what an average American's financial situation looks like. So what can you do? Well, with those thriving in financial well-being, they have set up default systems. Things like automatic bank withdrawals to put money into savings or to pay bills. And doing so helps lessen that daily worry about money, that daily stress, which helps your overall sense of well-being. May not solve your financial struggles, but it does help take a lot of that stress off of you when it comes to your financial well-being. And if you've ever spent a day, week, or month worried that your car might break down or that your children might get hurt, you know what that sense of worry can do to your overall sense of well-being. But once the sense of basic needs are covered and you've established systems to ensure the worry is lessened or removed from your life, look at ways to spend smartly. But spend on what matters. Spend on experiences, which will add value to your life through memories and connections that will last a lifetime. That new car or that new sofa or new pair of jeans will break down and lose their fluff and fade, but spending on experiences will pay back dividends for the rest of your life. And then, of course, spend on others. How many of you guys love buying gifts for your loved ones? Give me a thumbs up or a heart in the chat. Yeah, a lot of us are givers. And so the ultimate form of financial well-being is when you're able to impact the lives of others. Spending on oneself does not boast well-being. However, spending money on others does. And it appears to be as important to people's happiness as the total amount of money that they make, being able to share that money with others. Gift giving is a love language. I agree with you, Amy. Which is a great transition actually into our next pillar, our physical well-being. Now, we're restaurant people, we eat lots of food, so don't go feeling bad. Physical well-being is not about being a bodybuilder, being able to run marathons. It's about having good health and enough energy to get things done on a daily basis. People with thriving physical well-being effectively manage their health. They exercise regularly, make good dietary choices, and get enough sleep. People with thriving physical well-being look better, feel better, and will live longer. And it doesn't truly take hours of working out every single day to stay healthy. It only takes about 20 minutes of exercise to significantly improve your mood. Even 2, 4, 8, 12 hours later after those 20 minutes of exercise. And so that small change will impact your life for years and years to come. And just another fun stat for you on the screen. Only 27% of us exercise 30 minutes or more 5 days a week. So even those 20 minutes of exercise can make a difference. And it's never easy. We get home from a long day at work, or we're surrounded by a lot of delicious options in our restaurants every day. The temptations are definitely real. And so the challenge is that we often look for those quick fixes, like this lovely one I've got here on the screen, the Thigh Master. You can think of some of those quick fixes that we have come up with throughout the years, like P90X or eating fat-free or trans fat-free items. But what have we known since the dawn of time? Just getting active, eating fewer calories, exercise, eat right. It's just that simple. So why can it often be so hard? And it's not just about working out and eating healthily either. Your brain is begging you to hit the reset button every night by getting good sleep. So I need you guys to help me out again. I want you to drop a heart or a like if you got 8 hours or more of sleep last night. Oh, all right. One person did. What about 6 hours of sleep? Did anyone get 6 hours of sleep last night? We're getting a few more people in there. Anyone get less sleep than that? You're scaring me now. So research is clearly showing that the right amount of sleep will help reset your entire central nervous system, improving your memory, your heart function, decreasing depression, supporting weight loss, and increasing your creativity. Now that's something to sleep on. All right, pillar number 4, community well-being. It's not the first thing that people think about when they evaluate their overall well-being, but community well-being can actually make the difference between a good life and a great one. It's about the sense of engagement that you have with the area that you live in. So not just the people with whom you interact, but the actual area in which you live. Only 1 in 3 Americans state that they're afraid of going out of their house after dark. So, how engaged in your community would you be if you feel like this is what you saw when you walked out your front door at night? Or what if this is what you dealt with daily? It's likely we take our physical surroundings for granted, but imagine if this was your hometown, because it's a reality for many. And the common threads for those that have a high sense of community well-being are these: aesthetics. There are park nearby, or civil revitalizations, like in New York, where old rail lines are being used to create walking trails. What about social destinations? Places where you can go and feel a part of the community, where you can socialize and feel connected to others or to local pride. And then also an openness to others. Places with a high sense of community well-being are more open to those that may not be like you. And they encourage the dialogue and the sense of diversity that comes from multiple viewpoints. And nearly 9 out of 10 people report getting an emotional boost from helping others. And my guess is that you felt this before. I mean, Amy mentioned gift giving being a love language, but here's an example of where we all might be thriving. When you can help others, it drives a sense of community that is hard to reproduce. The most engaged workers donate 2.6 times more than those who are not engaged. Which brings us to our last pillar, career well-being. And career well-being is arguably the most essential of the 5 elements. At a basic level, we all need something to do, and ideally something to look forward to. When we wake up every day, what you spend your time doing each day shapes your identity, whether you are a student, a parent, volunteer, retiree, etc. In short, career well-being is how you occupy your time, or simply liking what you do every day. Really, everyone likes what they do every day. But remember being a kid in class, waiting tirelessly for the afternoon bell to ring. With what we do every day, we might take this for granted, but for an overwhelming 2/3 of the American workforce, they feel like those kids waiting for the bell to ring every day. They literally feel like they're being held hostage, but have no way out of their current situation. Work to them is jail. And we spend a majority of our lives away from our families and friends and surrounded by our second family. Those of us on the line together, those of us with whom we share our career. If we have to spend this kind of time together, I sure hope we're loving every second of it. And great workplaces are excellent social centers while you're still getting a lot done. Opt into more social time with the people and teams you enjoy being around at work. I mean, before this call even started, we had folks chatting with each other on the line, things like that. Did you know someone thriving in career well being is twice as likely to be thriving in all five elements? That's big. Means your experience here at PF Chang's matters greatly. We understand this and we want to do everything we can to help you achieve this. And perhaps Ralph Waldo Emerson said it best. The only person you are destined to become is that person you decide to be. That is much more than a job. Your life has meaning, your life has purpose. Now, you might be wondering, well, gosh, I want to know now where I stand with all five of these well being pillars. So, I'm actually going to leave you today with a quick exercise. You can either do alone or you can share with your team. And it's called the Wheel of Well Being. I'll send this out with the recap email after today's class. But the way that it works, you can kind of see a screenshot of it here on the display. But you'll answer questions in each of the five categories: career, community, financial, physical, social. As to whether you disagree or agree, you'll rate yourself 1 to 10. And then you'll total up each section. And on the next page, you actually get to create a wheel of well being. Of course, the more balanced the wheel that you have, the better the wheel will roll. But it's a great way to get a gauge of where you really have a lot of value in your life and maybe where you want to grow a little bit more in your well being. But like I said, I will send this wheel of well being out after the call with a recap for you to take and at least do yourself. But I definitely encourage you to share your results with your management. But um, with that being said, that is what I had to share with you today. Hopefully, you took something away from our well-being workshop and that you guys bring that work-life harmony, that harmony in your life as you come into these great holiday season. But otherwise, that's all for this wonderful Monday afternoon. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys all again before too long. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
Relic you found.